Be the Change Academy takes the entrepreneurial skills and the business acumen of senior business leaders and applies all that knowledge to a frontline challenge, always involving the private sector to make a difference. This has been quite a unique position, but I'm passionate that the private sector is the most underused resource in development work, and we're missing out if we don't involve them. They have so much to offer.
It is absolutely amazing to be here in Thangdor. When we arrived, we were greeted with a mala, so that is a local welcome, and all provided with rhododendron necklaces, which is the national flower here. The people have been so incredibly welcoming and very, very generous, inviting us into their homes to meet them and their families. There's been a lot of fascination with who we are and where we've come from, and also because we look very different to the locals here.
Which I told the river, they want to small the same. So when does the water infrastructure
We have pitched our tents and we are ready to really immerse ourselves in village life here, to start to understand the day in the life of a villager here so that we can properly help them from the ground up. We're talking to the head teacher, to the village leaders, to the women leaders, to the youth leaders, and let's see how best we can be the change. And we have the Be the Change mission, and that is to give a hand up, not a hand out, to people in the most remote, marginalised areas. To really get these amazing people that have come here from long, long distances to understand how they can help. For the first day they were here, we went to the Buddhist monasteries. We got them to understand and have cultural immersion, both in the Buddhist community and the Hindu community, because Nepal is this great mixture of Buddhism and Hinduism.
And this was absolutely incredible. The colours, the dancing, the sound, the singing, the excitement among the villagers. So for Tibetan New Year, there's lots of prayer, excitement, singing, and also a time where the villagers wear new clothes. It's the start of the new year. And it was really, really incredible to be part of these celebrations and fully welcomed by all of the locals.
काम गरेर आउनु भएको छ हैन अनि उहाँको पहलमा चाहिँ हामीले सानो हाम्रो थाङदोरवासीको लागि चाहिँ
One of the main things about the programme for me is the way it really works hard to engage the local population through key leaders and through key activities. So for example, yesterday afternoon we spent the day at the local school working with the children with a range of activities to
नेपालको झन्डा हैन
खै ताली बजाऊ ताली खै One of the activities that I provided was getting them to plant seeds so that they had plants that would grow vegetables and flowers in the coming months, and something that I hope would be sustainable for them and their families. Certainly seemed something they enjoyed during the day. The real point of those activities is to look at things that are engaging and starting to build relationships with the community in an important way.
days ago, I had no idea that I would be sitting on the side of this beautiful mountain feeling the emotions that I feel. I can barely speak right now because I'm full of the most incredible experience that anybody could have. Being part of Be the Change team is something really, really special. When we finally arrived here, the first thing one of the team, Sandor, said to me, he said, "You're about to experience the exact opposite of your life." And he was completely right. What he didn't tell me was that we would accomplish so much in such a little time. As soon as we arrived, started to work out who was the most vulnerable and the most families that really needed Be the Change's help. I'm particularly interested in the role of the woman and the sewing and weaving and things that were happening here.
I was able to deliver a pair of goats to an elderly man in the village who's a bachelor, and having the goats as companions will support him and give him a sense of comfort. But as well as that, he'll be able to produce milk from them and also eventually produce other goats to sell and raise for meat in the village and sell them locally, so have a source of income.
Wow.
अस्पतालमा उनीहरू जान्छ अब लानुपर्छ नि खर्च गरेर हामीले दिनु सक्दैन हामीले कहाँ खोज्नु जाने
त्यो चाहिँ लामी भइदै जान्छ हैन
बिरामी भयो भने
हैन त्यो औषधि हुन्छ
यार्छ
I have been investigating healthcare in the village, and it's been incredibly humbling to be invited into local families' homes to understand their healthcare needs. Healthcare is very, very limited here in Thangdor. If somebody is sick, they travel, they're either carried or they walk 1.5 to 2 hours to the nearest village to access healthcare. One of the things we're looking at doing is investing in a medical stretcher. So when these villagers do need to travel for further healthcare, they can be carried in a really, really sturdy stretcher. That also doesn't put pressure on their bodies.
So the health center here in Thangdor is non-existing. The system is run by 2 healthcare workers who are volunteers. Now they work as volunteers and they don't get any money out of it, and they only work in the capacity of midwives. So they help women to give birth. Other than that, there is no health system here. So what's going to happen now is that we're going to rebuild one of the fallen down community centers which had fallen down because of the earthquake, and rebuild it as a healthcare center.
Along the way, we have realised that having a chicken farm here is going to be a really good way of economically uplifting the community. Bit by bit, we have been here, we have spent time with them, and no decision has been made until we've looked at the financial viability and the sustainability of it all. This is what Be the Change is about. We are here to come, to see, to make a difference, and to leave the community in a much better, holistic way that we possibly can.
I just want to conclude saying every day on the front line is a great day with Be the Change. Thank you very much.